So recently I was playing, well, by recently I mean like over 7 months ago, I was playing Rust. And I was looking for some YouTube videos to listen to in the background while mindlessly farming basic resources to take back to my base. And a video popped up in my recommended by a content creator, at the time, pretty small content creator, by the name of Robert Tolpe. This video was one dissecting King Bach and his vines from back in the day. Is it Bach or Batch? I don't remember. His vines from back in the day, and how there's sort of a evolved form of minstrelsy when you really look back at those vines and see how much they relied on racist stereotypes about black people. It really didn't age well. It really didn't. And so you have this white kid coming along, talking about this, and the video actually blew up on Black Twitter, because I guess this kid's having like a really good take on like something that it hasn't really been talked about, right? And it was like, wait, I expected this video to be really bad, but it actually ended up being really based, was what a lot of the tweets were. And I was like, okay, I'll check this out. Okay, so I watched the video, and it was really good. Made really good arguments, and I was like, damn, we got a new bread tuber. They don't call themselves a bread tuber, but still, like, we got some good content here. This is good shit. And I've been watching Robert Tolpe ever since. Very good content, and in fact, we're about to watch a video from 3 months ago that they put out called TikTok Will Believe Anything, and it's a problem. So recently, I've been talking about how I think there's a good chance that internet misinformation could end up being like the foil to human civilization as we know it. There's this theory called the Great Filter. So basically, statistically, the idea is there should be a lot of life in the universe. We're here, we exist. There should probably be some detectable life in the universe that we could see already. And it's weird that there's not. So there are a lot of theories about what exactly is the reason for all of this lack of alien life everywhere. And one of the most common theories is the Great Filter. The idea that every bit of, like, intelligent life in the universe that comes about ends up going down the same route and same mistakes and fucking themselves over before they can reach a interstellar civilization tier, right? Like they can't get past like bound to their planet because the internet comes around and well, in my theory, the internet comes around, but some people think it could be nuclear energy. People think it could be climate change. People think it could be just war in general. That all life that gets intelligent enough is prone to kill itself with war. But personally, I've been leaning on the idea that, like, the proliferation of the internet, or capitalism, yeah, the proliferation of the internet and misinformation and reality becoming optional might be what ends up destroying us. And I really can't think of a better a better example of this than this video here, which I ended up watching a little bit of already, but stopped maybe halfway through because I wanted to finish it on stream because I think it does a good job of making my point about how big of a problem misinformation is online and how it's not just a little haha funny people online are dumb. Oh, people online are dumb. Oh, hoo hoo. It's not a joke. Let's watch.
Hi, I'm Robert Tolpe, and today we're talking about how people on TikTok will believe absolutely anything you present to them without questioning it, no matter how ridiculous your story is. And TikTok has no shortage of ridiculous stories, from silly hoaxes to urban legends to incredibly dangerous political disinformation. Many TikToks contain information that is misrepresented or inaccurate. Some of these videos get millions of views, and judging from the comment sections, a large percentage of viewers unquestioningly believe their claims. But why? Is it simply because people on TikTok are too young or too clueless to discover the truth about a video? That's what I initially thought, but it turns out that I was wrong. Before I begin the video, I'd like to thank Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. That means
YouTuber making money is bad. No, YouTuber cannot make money. No. YouTuber cannot make money. No.
means you can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.83 a month, plus 3 months for free with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
I think TikTok is mostly bad. I think TikTok mostly contributes harm to society.
Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the video description below. 2 months ago, I posted this video to my TikTok page. In it, my allegedly psychic dog seems to communicate with the ghost of my grandfather.
Here.
Grandpa isn't here right now.
Grandpa. Here.
No, he isn't here. He's gone, Molly. What are you looking at?
Grandpa.
Grandpa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh my god. This
Bro.
is shocking paranormal footage. Ghost caught on camera.
Fuck. They're real. Do you ever see some like ghost footage online that like that seems so legit you just stop for a second and you're just like, and then you scroll into the comments and find out how it's obviously faked? That's happened to me a few times. Like late at night, I'm scrolling through like some random like paranormal subreddits or whatever. That's happened to me. That's happened to me. You don't actually believe it, but it still gives you the chills, and so you're just kind of like. My cat jumped up out of literally nowhere while I was looking around, actually kind of jump scared me a bit. That's really funny.
Not clickbait. Of course, the video was fake. The couch print was CGI, and in the unaltered footage, I'm actually sitting right in front of the dog feeding her treats so that she presses the buttons.
Damn.
I crafted that TikTok to look as realistic as possible. But no matter how real the TikTok
When I purposely spread misinformation on the internet.
looks, you'd think that 0 people would believe it to be true because what is happening in the video is physically impossible. Despite the obvious fakery, it must have been at least entertaining to watch because the video received over 1 million likes and 8 million views. When I opened the comment section, I expected to see a bunch of laughing emojis, and yes, a lot of people did understand that the video was a joke. But a concerning amount of viewers expressed that the video sent chills down their spine and that it made them believe that ghosts are among us. You'd expect these comments to be written by a
That's right, chat. You know what to say. You guys know what to do. You guys know. I don't need to say it. You guys know exactly what to do.
younger demographic. But the duets and stitches on the video reveal that these beliefs were held by adults who appeared to be in their 30s or older. It's easy to forget that TikTok isn't a dancing app for youngins anymore. More than 1/3 of the app's billion monthly active users are over the age of 29. This leaves me wondering, why on earth would a perfectly normal adult fall for an obviously doctored video?
Luna, up here, baby. Come on. Come on. Up there. I'm gonna try to get her up on top of my like chair rest so you guys can see her. Come on, Luna, get up there. Get up there, baby. I'm gonna take up too much space and you have to jump. Oh, get up there, get up there. There we go. Good girl. Oh, that fat ass has a hard time these days, huh? Oh, she's a little chubby baby. Oh, yeah. And I love it. And I love it. And I love it. Look at this little princess. Oh. This is a sign of love. The bites, and then the licks. And then the licks. More licks? She's gonna bite soon. She'll bite soon. Okay, you can lay down there, right? You good? Let the chat look at you. Let the chat marvel at your beauty. There we go. She's balancing. She's getting her little balance set. There we go. Perfect.
And if they're falling for this video, is that an indication of a larger problem here? When we think of a platform for adults aged 29 plus, we think of Facebook. Facebook has received the brunt of criticism regarding the proliferation of misinformation and disinformation on its platform. From Cambridge Analytica to the events
She's actually 13 years old.
of January 6th, 2021, it seems almost every major political catastrophe can be linked back to false information hosted on Facebook servers. but that's mostly due to the sheer number of people that use its service every month. It has a user base that is twice as large as TikTok. Of course, it will have more impact on the world, and naturally, information on such a big platform is harder to control because there's simply more of it.
It's hard to
While
moderate.
all eyes point to Facebook as the source of all evil, TikTok has been growing rapidly over the past few
Like,
years.
people are caught up now to the fact that Facebook is a problem, but it took a while to get it to make it common knowledge that Facebook is just packed with misinfo that is brainwashing people. Like that took a while to be made common knowledge. It's going to take a while for people to catch up to the problem with TikTok as well. I expect the lawsuits, like, you know, Facebook had literal like lawsuits and hearings, and like the representatives got like grilled by our like elected representatives and whatnot. And a lot of it was dumb. A lot of it was like boomer shit, not understanding basic stuff. But a lot of it was like, why are you allowing this misinfo to spread? Why are you allowing foreign interference with our elections to spread on your platform? You know? And they got held to task for it.
Although it hasn't grown without scandal, there doesn't seem to be as much media scrutiny of misinformation on TikTok when compared to other platforms.
Oh, my nose
In
is itchy
fact,
now.
9 out of 10
Thank you, Dana.
headlines about TikTok just say something along the lines of "New dangerous China trend afflicts dancing Charlie D'Amelio" or whatever. And a good chunk of the articles that you see with headlines like that may have actually been part of Facebook's campaign to slander its main competitor in the press. And that's not a hunch on my part. That's something Facebook, or Meta, same difference, has actually done. There is very little organic investigative reporting about misinformation on TikTok. So what does misinformation on the platform look like? And does the nature of TikTok's algorithm lend itself to spread?
This is where I stopped because I wanted us to look at this part of the video on stream. I really just want you guys to see the kind of crazy shit that people just take as gospel because they saw their favorite TikToker say it, or because they saw a TikTok with a lot of likes. They got the info from that. Well, that's a lot of likes. Must be true.
Spreading it more readily than other platforms. When you watch content online, it's important to take precautions against bad actors who are constantly trying to steal your personal information. That's why using Atlas VPN is a good idea, because VPNs encrypt your internet traffic such that your internet service provider or people using your Wi-Fi network can't go snooping around in your data. With Atlas VPN, you can also change your virtual location to a wide array of countries in order to unlock content on streaming services that is only licensed to a certain geographic area. Using this same feature, you can also unlock location-specific...
Listen, if you guys want to get a VPN, go use Robert Tolpe's code. Go use Robert Tolpe's code for a discount if you want a VPN. Yeah, like, do that. And say you came from me.
Pricing in order to save money on your favorite items when shopping online. Atlas VPN is also very affordable and currently deeply discounted. So what are you waiting for? Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge sale. It means you can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.
You know what the funny thing is? Honestly, most sponsorships like this are like time gated. So it's possible this sponsorship is already over, and this might not even be an open thing anymore. It could still be, but it might not be as well.
$83 a month, plus 3 months for free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the video description below. Back to what misinformation on TikTok looks like. It, most of the time, looks similar to videos like my little ghost TikTok. There are a lot of hoaxes, and a lot of the stories being told in videos are not true. Their topics usually range from aliens and ghosts to whether or not they reuse pizza at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I watched a whole food theory video about the Chuck E. Cheese pizza thing, actually. It's not true. By the way, the reason why their pizza looks so weird, why it's all like fucked up and like weirdly arranged and all jagged, is they don't actually use like pizza cutters or knives to cut the pizza. They have like a policy for the sake of safety at all Chuck E. Cheese's for employees where they don't have any sharp equipment in the kitchen. And so they use these things called pizza rockers, which are literally just like a weird little like U-shaped thing with 2 handles on it. and a metal, not blade, more like hard metal edge that would like crunch the pizza. And so you just kind of rock it back and forth over the pizza to cut it. And it does kind of fuck up the proportions of the slices, and that's why it looks like that. So no, Chuck E. Cheese's does not reuse old pizza, and that's not they don't stitch together old pizzas. It looks like that because of the weird thing they use.
This misinformation doesn't seem all that concerning. I mean, TikTok isn't concerned about it. I read their guidelines, which has a detailed section on misinformation. Simply saying something that isn't true, or even creating a digital forgery, is not against their guidelines, even if that information causes commercial or reputational harm. If Chuck E.
Good
Cheese
shit,
went to
TikTok.
TikTok and said, "Hey, can you take down this video that says we reuse pizza?"
Nope.
TikTok would simply shrug their shoulders and say, "It's not against our guidelines, so you're out of luck." Their guidelines specify that misinformation must cause significant harm, specifically causing serious physical.
I listen. I don't want to keep on. I don't want to rehash what I consider now to be old drama, but like, this is Shoe on Head's ideal internet, and that's terrifying. Like, if this was the internet that we had, where like broadly there was just no TOS against harmful misinformation, absolutely wild.
Physical injury, illness, or death, severe psychological trauma, large-scale property damage, and the undermining of public
You
trust
ain't
in
wrong.
civic
Of course
institutions
I'm not wrong.
and processes such
I'm
as
saying.
governments, elections, and scientific bodies. That's the kind of harm that they're talking about. But can seemingly innocuous videos, such as my video of a dog communicating with the dead, be significantly harmful? There's a lot of people who would say yes, and their argument goes something like this. If people think this fake video is true, what other fake things might they be more likely to believe? Or, if people find out this fake video is fake,
Like, to be clear, imagine you watch that video and you come out of it like, fuck, ghosts are real. I have to rethink everything now. You know?
what other things might they begin to believe
Walter.
are fake? I have a tendency to disagree with that slippery slope argument. While there are certainly rabbit holes you can fall down, the vast majority of people who view viral misinformation online, which is literally 99% of the population, do not go on to become radical nutjobs. But it's important not to ignore the shockingly large percentage of people who do in fact become radical nutjobs. 16% of the US population believes in freaking 17th letter of the alphabet anon.
Does that percentage surprise you? It's probably more. That's how many were willing to admit it. So I want you to think about what's going to happen as the population increases, and that percentage by default, even if it stays the same, ends up being a total of more people. There's just going to be, even if that percentage of crazy QAnoners stays the same for generations as population increases, which it will level out eventually, just more and more crazy QAnoners. That's scary. And God forbid the percentage of people who believe in that increases. Xanderhall, I know neighbors of mine that are QAnon adjacent, as far as I know, or that are QAnon. Yeah. Like, you have to understand, there's a lot of people who won't even admit it because they think that, like, they're putting themselves in danger saying so. So it's probably higher. It's scary.
For God's sake. But I would hesitate to attribute this group's distorted worldview to videos like the ones I post on TikTok. People who sound the alarm about these types of videos point to a supposed pipeline that turns people from viral hoax watchers to 17th letter of the alphabet anon theorists.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the tendency for a lot of this content to basically push this one fundamental idea, is that the truth is never easy to find. If what people are saying is the truth, is right in front of you, then it must be a lie used to cover up the real truth. And so when you find these content creators, they reaffirm that. The idea that you have become this cyber sleuth who has actually broken the conditioning and is breaking through the propaganda to find the real truth that they, whatever they might mean in this case, because it can literally be anything from the Jews to the reptilians, depending on how crazy these people are, and how politically motivated they are trying to hide. It's that basic fundamental idea that if the truth is right there in front of you, easy to see, then it must be a lie covering up the real truth. Oh, my little hummingbird just flew. I've got a bunch of little hummingbirds, and one of them just flew up to the window to say hi. It was really cute.
They say, for example, that someone who watches this video I made, which claims that Ariana Grande's wax figure melted at Madame Tussauds because the AC broke, will then proceed to watch a video about Nancy Pelosi being drunk or something, and because they believed one outlandish thing, they're more likely to believe another one.
More likely, if we're talking about like the YouTube Shorts algorithm or TikTok, it's more like you go you click on one interesting short, you watch it, you liked it, and then you forget that you're on Shorts and you let another one autoplay, and maybe you like that one or it's boring, so you skip it. And after like 2 skips or 1 skip, you get to like an Andrew Tate clip, and then an Elon Musk dick riding clip, and then like some QAnon conspiracy shit. So like, it's basically a matter of you're skipping through these TikToks and these shorts the algorithm has put in front of you, and you're just absolutely fucking terrified at how many people that are going through the exact same recommendations as you are that aren't skipping. So many Jordan Peterson ones too. How many of the people that aren't you aren't skipping these shorts and are being like, oh, this looks interesting, and sitting there and watching it. Terrifying. That's the terrifying shit. Not the idea that like, oh, they saw a ghost video, now they're gonna be more it's more so that like the algorithm incentivizes sending you down a doom scroll spiral, and eventually one of those videos is bound to catch your eye with its flashy music, and my eye gets stuck for like a half second on those Andrew Tate clips because they include a little bit of that GTA gameplay where it's like driving cars around ramps in the sky, and my eye gets like stuck to it, and it like plays for like 2 seconds longer than most shorts that I would be clicking through. And it's literal, like, I would almost want to say genius psychological manipulation to try to get your attention clicking through these shorts. Xander Hall literally saying, yeah, I've like literally like stopped in one and it took 3 seconds to realize, oh wait, this is a Joe Rogan clip, you know? Because like the first few seconds would be kind of interesting. It'd just be some guy talking about something that sounds interesting, you know? And it's like, God, how many people aren't clicking through these and are just believing this random bullshit?
Cycle supposedly repeats over and over, and suddenly they believe that lizard people rule the earth or whatever. To me, that explanation seems like it's trying to provide a rational explanation for a behavior that is completely irrational. The reality is, many people don't need to dip their toes into the waters of benign misinformation in order to believe harmful, illogical things that aren't true.
That's true.
They often just plunge right in. I remember a disturbing thing that my professor said, and
exactly what I just said. A random Andrew Tate video just has to pop up, and it just has to catch their eye. They listen to it, and they like, this guy's entertaining, and then they just start watching. That's what the new short... It used to be, like, with the alt-right rabbit hole, it used to be you had to, like, go down and... Like, a rabbit hole of videos, right? Like, a slow progression of recommendations, collaborations, and video recommendations from YouTube itself, as well as the content creators. And it was a slow descent, right? Now it's like, oh, you're on TikTok, you're on the Shorts app, here's some Andrew Tate. If you're a lefty, you have to actively avoid it. Every normie and every, you know, prone to be conservative like chud who's going through the YouTube Shorts algorithm is just, it's the first thing they're seeing. It's one of the first things they're seeing, and if they like it, if they hit that like button and they watch all of it, it becomes their entire algorithm. And you know what the most disgusting thing is too? YouTube mixes the shorts from these like Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan clips in with like actual Science Channel clips from like a really popular one is the Hank Green guy, the guy that does the educational stuff. Like the guy's done a lot of educational shit in regards to YouTube. It'll play like a science clip by him, and then an Andrew Tate clip will play where he's talking about the true nature of women. Do you understand how dangerous that is? To try, like, how that sort of almost makes YouTube seem as though they're trying to, or a Nile Red clip, it almost makes it seem as though these science channels are offering some credibility to the other videos popping up alongside them. The way that the shorts roll doesn't feel like the same algorithm, like, oh, these are unrelated content creators. It almost feels like it's trying to take the credibility of the last content creator that you just watched in the shorts algorithm and allow the next one to borrow that, and so on.
In a history class I took about Europe during the 20th century. And you know what big and tragic event happened in Europe during the 20th century. The terrible man who orchestrated that event very famously warned against telling little lies. They don't work. People know what little lies look like because they tell them all the time. This is why he said to tell the big lie, because that's what people will believe. If you read accounts of people who fall down the rabbit hole into these kinds of harmful conspiracies that result in mass devastation, their journey usually begins with a Facebook friend sharing a post of a larger...
I just remembered that one clip of Vosh saying, people are getting mad at me for making constant Weimar Germany references, so I'm going to talk about a different place called Schmeimar Schmermany, where a man named Schmadolf Schmittler came to power. That was pretty damn funny. I like that a lot. I can't stop thinking about that fucking clip. That was really good. That was hilarious as shit.
Conspiracy on their wall. For example, a video describing wild theories of...
I like it because we should start saying Schmadolf Schmittler instead of Hitler to avoid getting demonetized. That's the main reason why I can't stop thinking about it. I almost just want to start saying Schmadolf Schmittler in order to keep monetization because it's just funnier.
About leaked emails of a high-ranking politician, or an infographic showing made-up statistics about disappearing children. The most harmful misinformation is that which fits
Schmazzyism. It just sounds satisfying to say. Zan rewriting history, easy clap.
Into a larger narrative. This is why I don't believe that any random TikTok that generally just isn't true will suck people into conspiratorial thinking. A video about Ariana Grande's wax figure melting leads nowhere. People see it in their feed and move on with their lives. Perhaps they encounter more false videos, but you can't really draw a direct line from Ariana Grande all the way to the theory that Nancy Pelosi is an animatronic controlled remotely from Hunter Biden's laptop, or whatever two-thirds.
I think it's just a lot of like, I think the biggest thing that I worry about in regards to the small bits of misinformation is that over time, I do imagine there could be sort of a, not a death by 1,000 cuts, but a delusion by 1,000 tiny lies, right? Like, how many little misinfo, MLM tier, like, little snippy little TikToks do you have to watch that are just feeding you lies before eventually, like, a good amount of the things you believe about the world just aren't true? Fundamentally. Do you think it desensitizes people to identifying truth? I think so. I think that is a genuine worry. I think a lot of it is that people start getting used to YouTuber to get their opinion from. I think you see it the most when it comes to media takes. Isn't it obvious how many people got their takes on media from their favorite, like, media review YouTuber? People do it with their politics as well. It's scary.
Thirds of the Republican Party believes these days. So what, then, is the problem with stupid TikToks spreading misinformation? Well, problems can arise when a dangerous TikTok appears very similar to one that isn't so dangerous. A digital hoax of Ariana Grande's eyes appearing to shapeshift into lizard eyes might appear in the form of a TikTok quite similar to mine. It may seem goofy and harmless, but it turns out that this conspiracy sneakily taps into the subconscious prejudice people have towards Jewish people. Hashtag lizard people has over 88 million views on TikTok, despite the lizard people conspiracy being essentially a remix of a forged anti-Semitic document known as the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, where the word Jew was replaced with the word lizard. A TikTok that provides evidence.
It was literally like 4chan posting, like, ha, what if we replaced the word Jew with another word? Won't that be keck funny, friends? Let's do that. That's literally what, yeah.
for the lizard people conspiracy can contribute directly to the same anti-Semitism
It would be so keck, guys. That's old 4chan speak.
that drives other
Yeah, the OG 4chan.
conspiracies, especially 17th letter of the alphabet anon. So in the case of a TikTok like that, you can, in fact, draw a line from that TikTok to the most dangerous conspiracies out there. So how is it possible to fight this, especially when a very harmful TikTok can look so similar to a relatively benign one? Well, this is why media literacy is so critical.
Yes.
As both a creator and a consumer of content, it is partially on my shoulders to do something about harmful content online. Unfortunately, when you have a big platform, it can be incredibly easy to screw up.
Yep.
Remember that lizard people TikTok idea? Well, back before I cracked open a history book, I thought the lizard people conspiracy was just a silly little thing that was popular on the internet.
It's just a silly little conspiracy theory about how all the rich people aren't humans because they lack emotion. That's what it is. I mean, like David Icke would do. They're lizard people. It's not that bad, right? David Icke wasn't a Nazi, right? David Icke is a Nazi, right? Did he like go full Nazi, like go full crazy, or is he chill? He was the guy that originates from. Yeah, he is full on Nazi. Yeah. I learned about David Icke from my uncle, who's a fan of him. I don't think he knows how crazy David Icke is. He's insane. It was deliberate. Okay, thank you.
As part of a series of videos satirizing internet conspiracy culture, I made a video where I joked that whatever TikTok e-boy that was popular 2 years ago was a lizard person and zoomed in on his obviously photoshopped eyes. I'd firstly like to apologize for making that, because even though
I get it. Like, I get why I get why he's gonna apologize. Here's the thing, though. I think particularly the lizard, like shape-shifting lizard elite thing, while it's oftentimes used as a dog whistle for anti-Semitism, I think if you're known to be like a progressive person who's just kind of making a funny joke about famous wealthy people being emotionless non-humans, I think the context of the joke matters, right? Like, for example, Pepe the Frog is labeled by the Anti-Defamation League a hate symbol. But if you actually look at their website, you can see they specify you have to look at the context that Pepe the Frog is used to figure out whether or not it is actually being used as a hate symbol in that context. It is not always being used as a hate symbol and not always offensive. So in that same way, I think while it does have some iffy roots and you have to be like, knowledgeable, I think you should treat it much like you would any edgy joke, right? Like, you have to be responsible about the way you tell it, the audience of who's hearing it, and all of that. Just to make sure you aren't having any negative effect, right?
Though the comment section did not take the video seriously, thank God, it was still harmful, and in retrospect, not a fun thing to joke about. When I reflect on that video, I question why TikTok didn't just take it down. I had to eventually take it down myself. The reason why moderation exists is not only to stop bad actors from causing harm, but also to stop people who have no ill intent from posting damaging videos. TikTok definitely has a responsibility to limit the damage that those videos cause to the people using their app. And if there's any app that should be very careful with moderation, it should be TikTok, because their product is so good at curating content for an individual that when videos have dangerous misinformation in them, the algorithm finds the exact person that will be vulnerable to that misinformation.
And then feeds them as much as they can to keep them on the platform watching as much as possible. And it's only going to get worse now that TikTok has now added monetization for creators, which means people are going to be able to make a living spreading misinfo on TikTok. They will be financially incentivized to do it. Ads will financially incentivize TikTok to make their app even more addictive and doom scrollable. It's a little bit scary.
For You page becomes this endless feed of videos that are able to connect with you on such a personal level that you receive information from it as you would receive information from a close friend. It's quite scary, to be honest. And the people developing these artificially intelligent algorithms should really stop and think good, long, and hard about the consequences of showing absolutely anything to people as long as it will hold their attention or get them to press the like button. While TikTok should totally work to enforce their guidelines that they themselves wrote, I know that no platform can remove every harmful piece of information in existence.
We have to teach people to think critically. And a lot of that's going to mean breaking the Republican stranglehold on American education. Like, Republicans want to make sure people make it through school as stupid as physically possible. Makes them more likely to vote Republican. Makes them more likely to be poor, which makes them more likely to vote Republican, which makes it, well, it depends. Demographically, if you're poor and white, you're more likely to vote Republican. Other way around if you're not white. But yeah, that's what they want to do. They want, like, white people mostly to come out of school, like, uneducated, because they're more likely to vote Republican. And they're more likely to be poor, which means more money for the wealthy elites. And by wealthy elites, I mean the Republican politicians.
This is why people need to learn to look at any piece of content with critical eyes and ask, why was this video made? Is it serious or a joke? Is it genuinely trying to inform me about something, or is it just claiming absolutely anything for views? Where does this video come from? If you ask any one of those questions, you'll be able to debunk most false videos that show up on your For You page. It helps that there are also many people that make videos debunking viral hoaxes, and these can teach people the very simple lesson that you shouldn't believe everything you see online. In a way,
There are very good videos that I've been watching lately that debunk, like, the crazy TikTok conspiracy stuff. They're really, really good. I've been binge watching some pretty good content on that.
Of small hoaxes serves as an inoculation against the damage that bigger hoaxes may cause, as people learn to approach things with a logical mindset. As a visual effects editor, this is why I like to show my TikTok audience how I make my videos, so that they can develop an eye for digital trickery. I hope that if they encounter a piece of dangerous disinformation, they'll know what red flags to look for. Anyways, I'm Robert Tolpe, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and maybe even support me on Patreon if you have $1 a month to spare, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye!
Everybody should go check out Robert Tolpe's channel. It is fantastic fucking content. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and relink this video in the chat. I want you guys to go drop a like, go drop a comment, and leave some kind words and all of that, and subscribe if you want to see more. God, my nose is really getting itchy from all that cat hair. But yeah, go leave some support. I really do appreciate it, because Robert Tolpe's content is great, and while they do have more subs than me, I think they should have even more subs. So go over there and check out that channel if you haven't already. With that said, as they already said, if you want to see more from me, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, turn on all notifications, follow my social medias, all linked down below in the description. And of course, if you want to support me financially, you can do so quite easily simply by donating, subscribing, gifting a sub, or hell, you can just donate or support me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, and also Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.